Hello, hello. This is Javon Brown with the Forever Getting Better podcast, and this is episode 17, 16, 17, episode 16. And I am filming this. It is currently 10:46 p.m. This is the absolute latest time that I've filmed one of these episodes, but yeah, it is 10:47 p.m. On April 29th. It is a Monday night, and well, so this episode is going to be about technology and specifically about the Rabbit R1, which is a device that I ordered a while back when it was originally announced. And I haven't gotten one yet, but they started shipping them out and people have been posting reviews. I've been watching like a few of the reviews. And so let me explain what the Rabbit R1 is. And actually, before I even go into that, I'll explain, give a little bit of context as to why I'm even making this episode about the Rabbit R1. So when it comes to technology and into things in particular, I have always been and always had the philosophy that being an early adopter is always a good thing. Like, if there is something new that comes out, there is absolutely no downside to being one of the first ones to adopt or to experiment with the new thing. Whether that's a new social media platform, a new technology, try the new thing, and if the new thing sucks, then at the very least you tried and you found out that the new thing sucks. But if the new thing is actually really good, then you have the unique advantage of being one of the first people to actually try the new thing, and therefore at a competitive advantage whenever it comes to utilizing it to its utmost, right? Because at that point you have more experience than all of the people who wait for the thing to become popular before they adopt it, right? So it's just the general philosophy, and some real life examples of adopting something early being a good thing will be like people who purchase IPOs, right? Or people who invested in Bitcoin early, or those who created YouTube videos or started a YouTube channel back in the 90s. These are all real world examples of okay, well, if you started this thing X amount of time ago, then today you're hyper successful just because you started when the thing was new, right? So there's virtually no downside to being an early adopter. In most cases, let's say that you adopt the thing early and then it flops, right? Like if you were someone who was early on Vine, for example, then worst case scenario, you being on the thing early, you still don't lose anything. If you were on Vine early and you didn't pop off, there are still some people that were created from Vine. There's some entertainers and comedians who gained notoriety on Vine and then took their audiences onto other platforms, and so it still served them. It still served to them to some degree, right? Let's just say hypothetically, you were one of the people who took off on Vine and then were unsuccessful in transferring your audience onto another platform. You're just in the same place you were before Vine, after Vine, in which case you didn't lose anything, right? It's net neutral, if you really think about it that way. And even then, it's net positive because of the experience that you had of using the thing. So now okay, this isn't for me, or whatever the case is. Vine is just an example. But anyway, the R1 is it is a Chinese device. It was created by a company called Teenage Robotics, I believe is the name of the company. And anyway, it's supposed to be kind of the world's first assistant in a box. So it is an AI-powered box or an AI-powered device that works as when it was originally announced, the thing is it differentiates itself from other black boxes like smartphones because, number one, it doesn't have any apps, and number two, it's AI powered. And so it is, instead of it being a phone or a device for apps or a new age PDA or whatever the case is, it's essentially supposed to be this AI-powered device that instead of being a large language model like ChatGPT or something like that, it's supposed to be a large action model based AI, which means that you can teach it to do things for you, right? And there were a lot of promises that were made in the keynote when this thing was originally announced, and it sounded really exciting to me. And one of the features in particular that I was really excited for was something called Teach Mode. And essentially, this device is supposed to have this feature where you can record your screen and explain to it what you're doing on screen, and effectively teach it how to do different tasks, like write emails for you, schedule meetings. Maybe like, let's say that if you're a programmer or something like that, you should be able to program it or teach it how to program. You should be able to teach it how to edit videos if you're video editors. If you can connect it to an electronic device where you can talk and record your screen simultaneously, then it should be able to learn the tasks that you're able to teach it through that sort of direction. Well, the thing is that right now, apparently the data set is too limited for it to be able to do those things. And then when it comes to even connecting to other apps and features, there are only 4 that are available, and they don't work really well. And so the thing is, and I think this is really what the whole point of this episode is like, I kind of talked about the advantages of being an early adopter earlier, but what I'm recognizing at the moment is like, there's definitely a downside to being an early adopter. And that is that you have to kind of deal with the, like realistically, like when I heard about this thing, I got really excited. And so that's a me problem. I ordered several of them. And the reason why I ordered several of them is because in my mind, it was like, well, this would be a phenomenal thing to not just test and utilize for myself, but for other people that I care about. The issue being that these things do, in fact, they just don't always have the features that you're promised at the beginning, and this is becoming more of a trend as time goes on. And of course, we all know that the first model is going to be buggy, and it's not going to have all of the features and work as perfectly as the models that come out later. So another example of me being an early adopter, outside of me ordering the R1, which hasn't come yet, mine isn't even supposed to come until July. I've just been watching reviews, and that's the reason why I know all this information now. But another example would be like with virtual reality and VR headsets, right? So now I think like the most popular VR headsets are going to be it's the Meta Quest 3, I believe, and then you have the Apple Vision Pro. Well, before there was even like a commercial Oculus or Meta virtual reality headset available, I was one of the people who actually ordered a software development kit just so that I could test it based on like alpha and beta software that was created for developing apps in the first place. Like, I was so excited for VR technology and for if you watch anime, you may have heard of Sword Art Online, like for something like that to exist, that I got this development kit that was made for developers, even though I'm not a developer and at the time didn't know how to program, just so that I could experience what VR could possibly be in the future in its most basic form, in earliest form. Well, fast forward to today, VR is still something that hasn't become popular. And you win some, you lose some, right? So I'm not complaining about that, but it's just like VR is still something that isn't widely popular. It's not like universal. It's not like there's a VR headset in every household. Like, that's not the reality that we live in right now. And I essentially came to the conclusion for myself personally, okay, well, having a VR headset is actually an obstruction to my everyday life. So I went through the effort of trying to sell my headsets, which I did successfully. Like, they're now gone. They're no longer in my possession. But one of the issues that I didn't even consider when I purchased them is like, because you have like face oils and stuff that can sometimes get into these that can get into these headsets, there weren't any places that would take them for sanitary reasons. So like, I needed to find a private buyer, and that was a little bit of a nuisance. And then for this software development kit, that was one of the original iterations of VR technology, I was thinking like, well, maybe I can sell it as a collector's item, but there's no demand. And so I think that's just one thing to consider whenever you're choosing to become an early adopter. The pro is that you can be onto something great soon, and then of course there's a huge payoff for that. The con being, you may just be stuck with an expensive paperweight later. Well, that was expensive, but is, to the rest of the world now worthless or just not worth very much. In which case, I suppose you still got the experience, so that's cool. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Episode is kind of lackluster, I suppose, because here we are just talking about this AI technology that is not as phenomenal as everyone thought it was going to be. And that's another thing too. Like there were just these promises that was made, and it just didn't have them. And like we're just seeing this trend in general with technology. But man, anyway, that's that. That's it. That's the episode. And I'm very much looking forward to large action model technology and teachable AI becoming a real thing instead of it just being an empty promise. Like, that will be cool. Anyway, this is Javon Brown with the Forever Getting Better podcast, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.